Did you know? China has strict internet controls and firewalls, and the law states that using a VPN could result in penalties. Yet millions of Chinese internet users still rely on VPNs every day. The government regularly releases cases of people being punished for using VPNs. So, what's it really like to use a VPN in China? Is it truly illegal? Today, let's dive into this mystery and find out. Hi everyone, I'm Jackiejiacn with China. Today we're tackling a hot and sensitive topic. Is using a VPN in China illegal? Could I face penalties? Despite Chinese law banning VPN use, estimates from a small Chinese blogger suggest over 10 million people in China are using VPNs to access the global internet. So, if it's illegal, why are so many people using it? The legality is still unclear, and today we'll explore this mystery together. In China, many lawyers and official media clearly state that using a VPN is illegal, and there have already been cases of punishment. The legal basis for this argument comes from the interim provisions on the management of international connections of computer information networks in the People's Republic of China, revised on May 20, 1997. According to this law, any unauthorized connection to external networks is illegal, so it can be concluded that Chinese users who use VPNs to access external networks are indeed violating this law. However, there is an important background to consider. This law was enacted in 1997. At that time, the internet in China was still in its infancy, and many households did not even have computers. The internet environment in China back then was completely different from today. In fact, when this law was enacted, I wasn't even born, and China didn't have the modern internet infrastructure we have now. The widespread use of the internet was far from being a reality at that time, let alone the high-speed broadband and universal internet access we have today. Over the past decade, China has truly entered the internet era, where the use of the internet has become increasingly widespread and nearly everyone can access the internet. Therefore, while it is true that according to the legal provisions, using a VPN is technically illegal, I personally believe that this law needs to be optimized in the context of today's internet environment. After all, changing a law is a complex and lengthy process, and we need to give it some time. So, if using a VPN is illegal in China, why are so many people still using it? Aren't they afraid of getting punished? First, it's important to note that there are legal VPNs in China. However, these are only available to authorized entities who meet specific qualifications, and they must apply for approval through China's telecom providers. These legal VPN services come with high costs and are generally out of reach for most ordinary people. As a result, many users resort to third-party VPN providers, which are technically illegal but are widely used. While VPN usage in China does technically violate the law, the reality is that despite these regulations, the government does not aggressively pursue penalties for individual users. This situation is somewhat similar to the marijuana laws in the United States. In the US, marijuana is still illegal under federal law, but many states have legalized its use and sale. For example, in states like California and Colorado, marijuana can be bought legally in stores. However, federal law still bans it, leading to a legal versus illegal coexistence. Similarly, in China, although the law clearly states that using a VPN without approval is illegal, individual users are rarely penalized. The government does occasionally block certain VPN services, particularly large commercial VPN providers, but it doesn't often take action against individual users. This is especially true as the internet becomes more integrated into daily life and privacy is increasingly important. In fact, the situation in China is quite similar to the way marijuana laws work in some US states. The law says one thing, but the actual enforcement and reality can be quite different. VPN use is not strictly punished in most cases. From personal experience, Chinese users who engage in VPN used to express controversial opinions or politically sensitive statements online are the ones most likely to face penalties. However, if you're using a VPN for legitimate purposes like accessing global knowledge, conducting legal business, or doing the right thing, you are generally left alone. It's a matter of don't ask, don't tell. The authorities turn a blind eye in most cases. Furthermore, VPN enforcement is much stricter in smaller, more remote cities where local authorities are more likely to act on VPN use. In major cities like Beijing, Shanghai, or Guangzhou, the authorities are far more accustomed to it, so VPN usage tends to fly under the radar. In conclusion, this is the current state of VPN usage in China. Illegal in theory, but largely tolerated in practice, especially in urban areas where internet freedom is more common. So, if you're planning to travel to China, don't worry about any risks related to using a VPN. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube that can teach you how to use a VPN in China, so I won't be making any specific recommendations here. If you need a multi-language guide, such as in English or Korean, for your trip, feel free to contact me for personalized travel services, whether it's business travel, a guided tour of niche attractions, or a tailored travel itinerary. You can find my contact details in the image. Additionally, I highly recommend using Trip when you come to China. Trip offers a multi-language version, so you don't have to worry about language barriers, and it's extremely versatile. You can use it to book hotels, flights, train and high-speed rail tickets, airport transfers, car rentals, and more. Plus, it has a variety of payment methods, making it a must-have app for your trip to China. You can register for Trip using the link in my video description. I highly encourage you to sign up and make your trip even smoother. I'll see you in the next video.